Babe, Crown Hill Theater, Brooklyn, New York, November 12th, live History Hyenas show happening. Go get your tickets. HistoryHyenasIsBack.com or just Google History Hyenas in Brooklyn, Crown Hill Theater. And then I'll be in Pennsylvania, November 14th and 15th at the Met in Philly. And somewhere else, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So go to christycomedy.com or historyhyenasisback.com. We got all our dates up there.
Yeah, Yannis Pappas comedy.com. See me in Bozeman, Montana at the Emerson Theater, November 22nd. Stanford, Connecticut, December 5th and 6th. Austin, Texas, December 11th, 13th. And West Nyack, December 19th and 21st. Patreon.com/historyhyenas for our weekly bonus episodes. Enjoy this episode on Nicolas Maduro and Venezuela.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. I'm Distefano, a.k.a. Chrissy the Catholic. With me, as always, is Yannis Pappas, a.k.a. Yanni Greek Orthodox.
A.k.a. Yanni Analysis.
Yes.
Want to know why?
Yanalysis.
Yeah, Yanalysis. I'm Yanni Mondani, and I'm also Yanalysis because I'm looking at you right now, and I know that you feel like you don't like your haircut, but let me tell you something right now.
Right now.
The fans will agree, and the camera may not show it, but when you see him in person, the kid's got a bowling ball for a head, as you know.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you always want to keep the sides a little short.
Right.
You want to make it look like you're not in the military because that would be a buzz cut, but you want to have the cut of like a CIA or high-level DOD official, which is what you got.
Yeah.
That's what I call a DOD cut.
Yeah.
Short on the sides.
Yeah.
Means you do paperwork, you help overthrow governments, but you're not fucking carrying a rifle and you don't say yes, sir, to a commander. You're high up.
Yeah.
That's a Pete Hegseth cut.
Yeah.
And you need it because your head is big, so you need less hair, just like I should have more hair in order to make my head appear bigger. Because you're perfect right now. You're 219 and your haircut is perfect. Your proportions are right.
Yeah, thank you, cuz you just made me feel super cute.
You're super cute.
And I appreciate
you're
that.
Back to wearing what you should be wearing.
Yeah.
Which is sports paraphernalia.
Yes, that's what
You're a white black kid and I like it.
And I like it. I'm going to take my my guy, Steve Ciccone Rice-A-Roni, to the Knicks game tonight. Today is his birthday, so wish him happy birthday. I'm going to take him to the Knicks game, and then I'm going to be honest with you, right after the Knicks game, I'm going to take him to West Garden, and we're going to get a rub down. Because the kid hasn't gotten laid since 2022.
Or as we like to call it, a little stop and frisk action.
A little stop and frisk. We're getting stop and frisk. We're getting a loophole, which right now technically is illegal. But Mamdani has created the New York City Caliphate, and he is bringing back prostitution, baby. Welcome to Mamdani's Mosque.
Yeah, I am all for Mamdani, and I want to see how it works out. Maybe it'll be good, but what I do know is it is Stevie Rice-A-Roni's birthday, so happy birthday, Stevie. So when you take him to West Garden, does he need a step stool to get on the massage bed?
100%,
and cuz do you get a 2-for-1 at the Knick game? Because do you sneak him in a backpack?
Sneak him in a backpack, and it's already good. I already called ahead, and West Garden has already given me half price because they don't have to, there's not that much bond. So they don't have to go with a full body, so they said it's less work for us, so we're going to give you half price.
Yeah, it's like when you get a fence put up, it's by yard.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's just less work for the Asian woman to do.
Yeah, it's just what it is. So I'm looking forward to that, and I do feel good on my Knicks paraphernalia. Now, I did wear, because Rag & Bone is now a sponsor of this podcast, so go Rag & Bone, put in that promo code Hyenas, and I got these Rag & Bone jeans that I have on right now, and I threw these puppies on today. They're right here. Look at these Rag & Bone QQ jeans and a Q top, and I was Rag & Bone head to toe this weekend for the Halloween fun, and it felt like me, but it also didn't feel like me. So that's why what I did today is a little mix and match. I put on my Rag & Bone jeans and my New York Knicks jacket with my Kith Cutie sneakers.
Yeah. I think there comes a point where, first I want to say you should wear more blue because it brings out your eyes.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to say that.
Yeah.
Secondly, I want to say there does come a point, I think, in a person's life where they do just have to commit to believing in something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, You're
And for me, that's Catholicism.
Yeah, you've just been going very hard. You're just, I think you're finally landing. You're back on Lynn.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Lynn,
yeah.
you know when you play Monopoly and you have to return to go?
Yeah.
I think you've returned to Lynn.
Yeah, I've returned to Christendom and I've returned to Linendom.
Yeah, because at some point you just got to choose something, right? Because mostly you're just like a honeypot's dream.
100%.
Like you're an empty container that can be filled up any which way.
Yes.
But now you've been filled up with the light of Jesus.
It's what it is. The only thing that can sway me right now is the body of Christ.
Or the body of a Latina.
No, but that not anymore, cuz
You're
unless you
never-
have a communion wafer in between your tetas,
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Now, how do you repel the Latin women? Do you just hold up a healthy meal and they run?
And they run away. Yeah. I just hold up. No, the Latino women, I mean, honestly, I'll probably always be able to get honey potted. Like, we're going to talk today about Venezuela.
Right.
And we're going to talk about how Venezuela and the United States are about to go into a war. And it would be tough for me to be a soldier for the United States Army invading Venezuela because, I mean, I would want to bang everything big.
Yeah.
Venezuelans are hot.
Venezuela's hot. Colombia's hot. The Peru. I mean, they just got two things, and that's the coca bean
Yeah.
and cute puss.
Cute. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous women. I mean, Latino women are, if aliens came and invaded this planet, I think they would take the Latinas to breed with.
Yeah.
Right? They would just take that. That's who the breeders are. They said, just take all these ones.
Absolutely, because if you do want to catch up in the birth rate race,
Yes.
I mean, why isn't just everyone assigned a Venezuelan refugee female?
It's just what it is.
Because you could probably push out, they're like puppies. You could push out, I think they could hold 10 in their belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
They get pregnant big.
Yeah. That's why it was weird when Octomom got a show. They were like, that's just every woman in Venezuela.
Latin 14. Yeah, I mean, they're just really good at getting pregnant Latin women. This is what it is.
It's what, hey, look at my life.
Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah, it's just, they get pregnant easy.
Yeah, it's just what it is. And let me remind you, my brothers and sisters, if you want to expose someone, then the light will be turned back right onto you, my friends. We have spoken about this. I don't really run. I'm not on my social media anymore, but I posted this joke that I did about Mamdani, and I talked about, I said the history hyenas bit that we have with the towels underneath the armpits. We posted that, and then
And you lost a few followers.
I did lose a few followers, and then it was interesting because one guy, the Kid Miro, who is like, you know who the Kid Miro is.
Is that Jesus and Miro?
Jesus and Miro, the Kid Miro, he wrote something in all caps lock on my thing, like, this is a bad look, bah. And then he said, you got a Puerto Rican baby mama, you're going to need universal pre-K, because basically he's saying Puerto Rican women have a lot of kids. And he was like, you need to sell those Knicks tickets to make end meet. And my guy showed it to me. And then somebody, I think, wrote, because he's a pro-Mamdani guy, said, isn't your wife Jewish, Miro? So it's like, if your wife's, so the thing is, like, you came at me, but then the fans reminded you that you have a Jewish wife and Mamdani doesn't like the Jews.
Yeah.
So I'd rather deal with a Latina than you voting for someone who doesn't like Jewish people.
Yeah. And you could have also said to Miro, get back with Jesus, because nobody cares about what you say if it's outside of that podcast.
It's just what it is. Welcome to my reality. Yes.
Yeah, because both of their careers just haven't been as hot since that podcast.
It's what it is, and it's just one of those things where we will talk about Venezuela.
Yeah.
We will talk about Venezuela, but we will just go back to the truth of what this is. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
War makes for strange bedfellows.
Remember this, my friend.
Yeah.
This is why liberals want to constantly tell you about Islamophobia. This is why they want to constantly tell you about how Mamdani is so
Now
good.
your group chat must be fucking fired up.
Fired up.
Right.
Fired up.
Is this group chat Chrissy?
Yeah, it's group chat Chrissy.
Or is it 4chan Chrissy?
No, 4chan.
Or are they both the same guy?
And then we're also going to talk about, I don't know if we're on the Patreon or not, or the YouTube or not, but
we never do know.
We never really do know. We'll make a decision after the episode.
Which is what we always do.
But we are going to also have to get into the specifics of Donald Trump fighting against Boko Haram, and because there's a Christian massacre happening there that the news does not want to talk about because they want it all to go towards the Palestinians versus the Israelis. And the bottom line is, baby gorgeous, there's no genocide happening. The genocide's happening in Nigeria against the Christians.
Yeah, I really want to hear what Godfrey has to say about what's going on in Nigeria right now.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what it is. Godfrey, who calls blacks the N-word more than anybody in Howard Beach ever could.
Yeah.
Because to him, if you're not from Nigeria, you're an N-word. which is why and he yells about it all the time.
And he always loves talking about how Nigerians are just superior people.
Yeah, which is
Everyone wants to believe that their people are superior people, that they're chosen people. Even the Greeks are guilty of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
It's just what it is. I think Nick, in some way, believes that the Ecuadorians are superior.
Yes. And now Ecuador. That's a nice time.
Let me just say this.
To Venezuela. Okay.
If this does happen, if the jihadis do take over, like you're talking about, through their caliphate, Mamdani, to bring back the caliphate through Sultan Mamdani, I'll tell you what Jesse's gonna do. Jesse's gonna start talking like this. Oh, what's the matter with me? You wanted a meatball? Welcome to my restaurant. I'm Italian. Scuturo.
Yeah, he's gonna lead into that Italian style. Big, and then Nick's gonna go the other way and grow that beard down to his belly button.
He's gonna grow that beard and go.
Nick can go muzzy. Big.
All you got to do is grow that Bin Laden beard and you're fine.
Now, Jesse, just real quick, he sounded like a Patreon rant, right? That's probably not good for YouTube.
No, it's all good. The world needs to hear it, man.
What do you think? Did I tell a lie, Jesse, in that rant?
I didn't hear any lie.
Did you hear a lie? I don't think we heard a lie. Because we can disagree, but I don't know if you heard a lie.
I just say we let it fly, and see what Spotify and YouTube does with it.
It's what it is because, here's the truth. Here's the truth, Iwuthi, is the views can't get any worse.
The views on YouTube are looking pretty, they're going down.
They're going down, so that's socialism right there.
Yeah, that's socialism. They're getting redistributed someplace else.
Yeah, that's what it is. So that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, but on Spotify, I think we're pretty high up as far as comedy genre.
Yeah.
I'd like to say number 4, and I like to lie.
Yeah, I'd like to lie. He lied to the real estate kid who we were driving around with because we are trying to make an active move out of the studio because the Wi-Fi just doesn't work.
Yeah. Now, we're going to talk about Nicolas Maduro.
Nicolas Maduro.
It's a hard turn. But it's all interconnected.
Now, I got to be honest with you because you said we're going to talk about Maduro today, and I thought you were talking about sweet plantains because Maduro is one of my favorite Puerto Rican foods.
Yeah.
I love a Maduro.
Well, but through Maduro, we can talk a little bit about, because there's allegations that there's money coming in and out from Hezbollah. There's allegations that he's in bed with the cartel. There's allegations that I don't know. Maybe we should just check out his podcast.
Yeah.
Think what he says. Nicolas Maduro has a podcast. So listen, it's not just former Hollywood sweethearts who are getting podcasts right now.
No.
It's also dictators.
Yeah.
Because Nicolas Maduro has his own podcast. It's called the Maduro Podcast.
It's called the Maduro Podcast, which is a cute name.
So he has taken a page out of Trump, who is his nemesis, right?
Trump is Maduro's nemesis, which is interesting. Yeah,
they are really. I'd say that I don't know if it's not really a Djokovic kind of Nadal rivalry, but it's akin to it.
Because let's set the scene. Let's tell the truth, Iwuthi. Venezuela of I think all the South American countries, or are they Central American or South American? South American. Okay, South American countries. They had the most oil money. They were like the Saudi Arabia of South America, and they had all this oil money, and they didn't distribute it back to their citizens in the correct way. They line the pockets. It's very much like the Major League Baseball, where the top teams are supposed to pay these luxury taxes and give it to the bottom teams, and the bottom teams take the money, but they don't redistribute it and buy players. So it's very, very similar. Venezuela was not distributing this money properly, and they had a financial collapse.
Yeah,
they had a financial collapse, and then they tried to jump on the backs of socialism real quick, but it didn't work at all. And now I believe they actually don't even have a sitting government. They have Maduro's the dictator, but I don't think that I think there are, for real, like chaos, like famine is going on through Venezuela.
It's chaotic over there. Let's set the stage and then build it back up. Yeah,
come on.
Venezuela has the most oil. They discovered oil, I believe, in the 1920s.
Right.
And they have the most oil in South America. They are a founding member of OPEC.
Right.
But now they've are not in OPEC.
Right.
They were like, fuck you. OPEC said, fuck you. And
the state controls through the Petróleos de Venezuela, the PDVSA. This is the difference. This, like in America, we have oil here too, but we have private companies that do it. The state owns 95% of, the state owns all of the oil production, refining, and exporting.
Yeah.
That's the problem, honey.
And here's a little bit of the solution, that America now is exporting more oil than we're importing because of fracking, which a lot of environmentalists say are no bueno, but we found a lot of oil. We got a lot of oil ourselves.
Yeah, honey.
So that's changed the tables a little bit because, look, all right, let's set the stage because we could go all over the
Set the table for me.
Set the table because I was about to say you always think. What, can't we just go to these countries and just take them over?
Yeah.
But then you got a mess, right? Then you got resentment. Then
Actually, wait. Before you set the table, we're gonna be back right after this because I got to go take a call from Pete Hegseth. Hun, you got life insurance now?
You got to get life insurance. You have to do it. You got to do it.
And I want you to go use SelectQuote.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because because a lot of these companies, they just try to sell you, whatever one specific company, they'll say, oh, we're the best. Well, SelectQuote does all the dirty work for you, and they actually find out who's the best for you.
Yeah, and you know what you can do? Is you can take a look in the mirror and see where your drawing line's at. Yeah. And if yours has disappeared like mine, you need life insurance. Because I'm pretty close to a heart attack.
And SelectQuote, what they do is they take the guesswork out of finding the right life insurance policy. You don't have to sort through dozens of confusing options on your own. Instead, one of their licensed agents will find the right policy at the right price for you, and they compare plans from all the top-rated insurance companies, and I've done this, and sometimes you get to do FaceTime with them, and they got a lot of hotties.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are handsome.
You'll be covered faster than you think. My people. SelectQuote works with providers who offer same-day coverage up to $2 million worth. No medical exam required. Life insurance is now never cheaper than it is today. SelectQuote, they shop, you save.
And that's good that there's no medical exam required because we would not have good results at the moment. Here's the thing, cuz life insurance is never cheaper than it is today, right now. Get the right life insurance for you for less and save more than 50% at selectquote.com/hyenas. You can save more than 50% on term life insurance at selectquote.com/hyenas today to get started. That's selectquote.com/hyenas. Cuz, have you heard Open Phone? Remember the company Open Phone? Mm-hmm. They changed their name to Quo.
Whoa, I like
And I
better.
said, are the Dodgers going to draft him too?
Yeah.
Now, Quo, I said, and then maybe they should, because let's talk about something every business owner knows too well.
Yeah.
Missed calls. You don't want to have these missed calls because missing a business call, that's like watching money fly out the window and straight into your competitor's hands, okay? You don't want that. You want to use Quo.
Yeah, Quo is the #1 business phone system built for 2025, not 1995. It's rated the top choice for customer satisfaction with over 3,000 reviews on G2. Your whole team can share one number and collaborate on calls and texts like a shared inbox. Faster response, happier customers, Chrissy.
It's what it is. That's why over 90,000 businesses are already running on Quo. From solo operators to growing teams, Quo helps business stay connected and look professional. Yanni, tell them the discount.
Yes, Quo is offering our listeners 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/hyenas. That's QUO.com/hyenas. You can even keep your existing phone number for free. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Wow, we're already at 22 minutes.
Yeah, because we're fucking going wild, but I think 15 minutes of it's going to have to go on Patriot.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that long, but because you did that, that's what we call wow. I was so enthralled by your rant that I lost time.
As long as it's funny.
Yeah.
As long as we listen back and it's funny, because you can't be serious.
I think it's going to be very funny.
Yeah, because I'm on the borderline of serious and funny.
I don't know if anything you say could ever be taken seriously.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of these fuckers do, and then I called out the kid Miro, and that's probably stupid too.
Not really.
I mean, he just commented on something.
He said it's going to be stupid for you to have that position. You were just making a joke.
Yeah, I was just making a joke.
I mean, you're just making a joke. It's like, where's your sense of humor, guy? Where you wear your towel is a very funny joke.
Yeah.
It's a very funny joke.
Yeah, and the mom, okay.
It's just a funny joke. Whatever.
But this is why I get off social media, and I had to tell my social media guy, don't even send me the comments anymore.
We're not saying all people who voted for Mom Dami wear their towels like that.
Well, we did say that in the bit.
In the bit, because you have to exaggerate. But what we are saying, if you want to reflect reality, is if you wear your towel like that, you voted for Mom Dami.
That's what it is.
That's just that.
That's what it is.
That's like a fact.
Yes, like a good bit is for you guys to send us pictures at patreon.com/historyhyenas of just your towel underneath your armpits, and then we know who you voted for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like nobody who wears their towel like that voted for Cuomo or Silva.
No.
They just didn't.
No.
So we're not saying all of you do, but if you do wear it like that, we know how you voted. That's all you're saying. That's all you're saying. That's all you were saying.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, so Venezuela, so go set the table for me, or as Nick likes to call it, the piso. Oh, floor. Sorry.
Yeah.
What's table again? Pesa.
Mesa.
Mesa.
Mesa. We'll set the mesa.
Nick wants to set the mesa.
We're gonna put the comedic comida on the pesa.
On the pesa.
Ready, muchachos y muchachas?
Yes,
Jugadores? Let's build some rascacielos with comedy.
Yes, and
That's skyscrapers.
Nick's got an NWO shirt on, and his future fat wrestling fan wife is listening live from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania right now.
Because what we're going to do is we're going to show you one frame of Nick so you could start photoshopping him like you do us, and there will be one female wrestling fan out there who will see it.
Yeah.
And Nick will fall in love and will contact Nick and be like, oh my God, I love wrestling, whatever. She will be a little heavy.
Yeah.
She will be a little heavy.
Yeah.
Because female wrestling fans don't tend to live in metropolitan areas.
No, yep.
They like to live in places like Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And then we'll lose Nick because Nick will move for love.
Yep.
And he'll move there. And the next thing you know, Nick will be courtside in a high school gymnasium watching Hacksaw Jim Duggan headline a card in a small area for $10 tickets.
It's what it is.
He'll be happy as a clam.
It's what it
He'll be
is.
happy as a clam.
Yeah.
Because he's a wrestling fan, and there's nothing more authentic than going to a lower rung intramural fucking professional wrestling match in a local gym.
And that's what Nick likes to do, and he's going to have a baby with this woman, and he's going to name that baby, whether it's a boy or girl, that kid's name is going to be Ric Flair.
That kid's name is going to be Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. It's what it is.
That kid's name is going to be Vince McMahon.
And so we're very, very happy for Nick.
Stardust.
And Nick, probably knowing Nick, he's probably the best venue he can get married at is probably going to be Soul Joel's Comedy Club.
That's probably
which
what's
is
going to happen.
Which is where we're going to a wedding in March.
We're going to a wedding in March.
Yeah,
That's
Sergio has already asked for a ride there, and I said no.
Yeah, has Sergio been invited?
Sergio's definitely probably going to get invited.
Nice.
Yeah, all right, so go ahead.
So let's set the stage. This is the only history show where we get to the history for about 7 minutes.
But that's why you listen.
That's why you're here.
But we also do have some good points coming about Venezuela, and I think at least if you take one thing from the rant, at least just find your faith.
Okay, so what happens here? Initially, we can't talk about Maduro without talking about Chávez and then talking about the guy before him, who I think his name was Perez.
Okay.
If his name wasn't Perez, just make him Perez.
Just what it is, yeah.
Right, so.
Hugo Chávez is the big one, though.
Yeah, Hugo Chávez is the big one. So Perez is a corrupt guy. He's a corrupt guy, right?
During the 2000s, oil prices brought hundreds of billions of dollars into the country, my friend.
Yeah, so, I mean, but Perez is in there. You know, we get a little crony capitalism situation.
What does that mean, crony capitalism?
Some people are skimming off the top. The elites are getting richer. They're hiding money in offshore accounts. They're wetting each other's beaks. And the people aren't really seeing any of the revenue from their land.
Right, okay.
So that makes fertile ground for what? Just like New York City, high rent prices and high cost of living made fertile ground for socialism.
Right.
Crony capitalism and lack of redistribution of that oil wealth creates fertile ground for socialism.
Yeah, it's what it
is. What happens.
Socialism comes and it grows from those roots.
Yeah, it's just equal but opposite reaction. It's what we do, the human species. We go from one extreme to the other, and boom, Chávez comes in. Who's Chávez? Chávez is a military guy, very charismatic. He gets jailed for 2 years. He gets out of jail. His popularity grows. He's very charismatic. He's overwhelmingly popular. He storms in. He nationalizes the oil. He starts building all these social programs, and initially it goes very well.
Right.
People are happy.
Yeah.
They got child care.
Yeah.
They got health care.
Thank you.
People got the stuff that they want. Poor people are happy.
Yeah.
And then Chávez dies. 2013, he's got a little bit of something called cancer.
It's what happened.
A lot of people think the CIA gave him the cancer.
Really? But that can't be proven.
It can't be proven.
Because the kid was smoking cigarettes, too.
It's probably not true, because the kid was smoking cigars and he was going to Cuba to get his medical attention.
Now, United States wants Hugo Chávez out. Why?
They want Hugo Chávez because we have what we call private companies that want to get their fingers back in there. Chevron wants to get their fingers back in there.
And because there's a lot of Venezuelan oil, we haven't figured out fracking yet, and they said Venezuela is keeping all the oil money for themselves, and you can't do that here.
Well, if we get rid of Maduro, we'll fast forward. If we get rid of Maduro, I think it's estimated, it'll shave like 10 cents off a barrel, because we'll start importing from Venezuela. We also don't like that Venezuela gives its oil to China.
Yeah.
We don't like that.
Don't like
They
that.
give their oil to China. We don't like that.
No.
we the elector.
Let's be honest. Why does China need oil? Can't they just run their factories on duck sauce?
You got fired for a joke like that from Netflix.
It's what it is, but it landed me back here, baby gorgeous.
Nobody watched that show anyway. It was called Ultimate Beastmaster.
It was called The Ultimate Beastmaster, and I was on season 2. It's what it is.
That show was very funny. It was they were trying to do American Gladiators.
Yeah, it's what it is. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I was on season 1. I don't even know what season I was on.
Anyway.
And I also want to say, just real quick, at patreon.com/historyhyenas, I got a ghost story for the room. I'm going to read everyone a ghost story. I'm going to try to come in each week with a ghost story, and I'm just going to read it and see if Nick gets scared.
Yeah. We'll know if Nick gets scared if he starts throwing on his Ultimate Warrior armbands.
Yeah, it's what it is.
That's when he's ready to go down to the basement.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something right now, Ghost.
Yeah.
So that sets the stage. Chávez dies. He appoints Nicolas Maduro as his successor.
Who's a sweet plantain.
Who's a sweet plantain.
Yeah.
So Nicolas Maduro comes into power. At this point, sanctions start hitting. Inflation is going through the roof.
So is Nicolas Maduro a good guy or a bad guy?
Well, I think 60% of Venezuelans right now say he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
Right? I think Americans on the right would say he's a bad guy.
Right.
I think Americans on the left, as per usual,
Right.
they are not into agency.
Right.
They're very big into grievance culture.
Right.
They'll go, it's the big bad United States sanctioning them, not allowing socialism to be in its natural form. Here's just...
Yeah, it needs to be. Here's also the truth, too, with extreme leftists, is they just always want to go for the underdogs, whoever they perceive as the underdog,
Yeah.
and whoever they perceive as the disenfranchised, that's what they'll go for.
And I will say this, it's just a fact. I'm just going to state a fact. No socialist revolution has worked. None.
As the Venezuelans would call it, cero.
Zero. It's never worked. There's been plenty. There's been plenty.
It just don't work.
It just doesn't work, right?
Because we can't have, as you said on the phone call, you can't have socialism without capitalism.
You just can't.
Can't. I mean, we have socialist programs here, welfare, all that socialist.
Yeah, it's just
propped up by capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, so what does socialism even mean anymore?
I don't know.
Because all the socialist countries that had socialist revolutions are now mixed economies. Some of them have one-party authoritarian state system.
Like Venezuela.
Like, let's go down the list. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. But Vietnam is always a good example because it happened recent. And they opened up their markets and the country just flourished now.
All right.
They went from rice shortages to now like being a massive rice exporter, a foreign capital flood.
But what is it? Why does the socialism not work? Because at the top, these people just do that crony capitalism.
You don't even care about your own uncle that much. How are you going to care about people you don't know?
So you don't care about redistributing the rice and the money through the fields because you'll just eat it all.
At the end of the day, everyone wants the wealth redistribution if they're not paying for it, but they're receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone who is paying it doesn't want it.
Right.
So all the people who are chanting, let's redistribute it, can either afford it, like Billie Eilish, like afford it many times over,
right?
Or they don't want it,
right?
Because they're in the million bracket or the 2 million bracket. But when you're in the 30, 50 million bracket and you want to pander to your fan base, you'll say, why are there billionaires?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If millionaires really didn't want billionaires and they thought billionaires are bad because they have too much, then wouldn't multimillionaires just stop charging now?
Yeah.
Wouldn't Billie Eilish just do free concerts now?
Yeah.
You have enough.
Right.
So they don't.
Right.
Wouldn't Hassan Piker just stop charging on his super chats?
Right.
Because he's got multi-millions?
Right.
If you really hate billionaires, wouldn't you say, okay, I have enough now. Everything's free now.
Right.
I don't have to charge you anymore.
Right.
So it's utopianism. It's idealism. It's got nothing to do with the real world. Like you believe in a state of grace. Like there's angels.
Good movie.
Yeah. Good movie. That's why I like that line. It's just
because you look cute and green, by the way.
Thank you.
You look like a really nice string bean.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there is that truth that there's this belief that everyone who's rich is bad.
Right.
Like that somehow everyone who's elite had it handed to them.
No.
And what they always skip over the step of, maybe those people just worked hard or they have more ability or whatever. But that's never
Well,
the case.
that's why to me socialism, that's where the scary part is when you take away the competitive advantage and the free market and all that, you stifle the human creativity and you stifle our humans that want to go out there and make the world a better place or make more money, whatever. You take that away from people, and then everybody starts to get real depressed, real upset.
The only thing that's really worked is like capitalism with a heart, I think you would call it, right? So Norway, Sweden, but then you go, oh, those are mostly homogeneous societies with a population of 5 to 8 million.
Yeah.
And then once now you've seen that they've allowed a lot of immigrants in, they're having problems and taking a turn for the right.
That's what it is.
So, but those aren't socialist societies. There's CEOs in Norway. There's CEOs in Sweden. It's mixed economy.
Right.
It's a mixed bag.
It's a
like
mixed
Vietnam,
bag
like
else.
China, like everything else.
Right.
Capitalism. I think one of the most ironic things and what Marx could have never seen is that the only mechanism that works for socialism is capitalism.
That's it.
It's the only engine that allows socialism to work, because if you don't have capitalism creating wealth, there's nothing to socialize. Everyone's just the same poor.
That, and also too, this whole idea of like people get it handed to them, that's almost never true. Even the Kardashians didn't get it handed to them.
Right.
You can disagree with everything about them. That's fine, but they built that shit.
They built that shit on their pussies.
It's what it is. However they did it, they did it. So the truth is nobody gets it handed to them. That's just an excuse that people who aren't where they want to be financially or educate or wherever they don't want to, they're not where they want to be in their life. So then they say the rich get it handed to them. It's all bullshit. It's all excuse. The only thing is, I'm going to repeat back to what your manager said to you. Look in the mirror.
Ladder 14.
Well, look at everybody. If everybody would just stand up and look in the mirror and say, how am I responsible for my place in my life, whether I like it or whether I don't like it? What is my responsibility here? What did I do or not do to get me where I want to be or not want to be? It's always, always, always look within, because that's where God lives. Remember that. God doesn't live up there. God lives in here.
I think nobody said it better than F. Scott Fitzgerald, and I believe it was F. Scott Fitzgerald. In America, families are always rising and falling, right?
Yeah.
What's the quote? Is that F. Scott Fitzgerald?
That's from The Departed. That is from The Departed.
Originally, I don't think it's from
Leonardo DiCaprio said that in The Departed.
Did he?
Yeah. I think was it Hemingway?
By the way, the Leonardo DiCaprio that Departed is the Leonardo DiCaprio that most chicks want to bang.
Yeah, and he does not look like that at all anymore.
Yeah. Didn't he?
Fitzgerald's father.
That quote, I think, is from F. Scott Fitzgerald.
But also, it's from The Departed.
It's also from The Departed.
From The Departed.
You fucking cocksucker.
The quote is from Secret Garden by Franz. No, but this isn't it.
No.
I can't.
No.
Families.
Just go families.
Families are a rising and a falling in America, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just make sure. It was by Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Nathaniel Hawthorne, families are always rising and a falling in America. And actually, he says Hawthorne in the movie The Departed. He goes, and then Mark Wahlberg goes, what's the matter? Don't you read any Shakespeare?
Yeah.
That's what he said, because that's just a movie I like to move my monkey to.
Yeah, and in Massachusetts, he would be Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Because, make no mistake, when I watched The Departed, I hit the ham candle. I hit it big.
You hit it big, right?
Those are the type of guys I want to bang out.
Yeah.
And The Town.
Yeah.
I watched The Town.
Well, if you think about who has it handed to them, if some people do, right? But it's a very small minority.
Such a small minority.
Such a small minority. I mean, I think it's really, if you look at what is the 1%, the family of the 1% definitely has it handed to them, but a lot of them squander it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they squander it.
Yeah, just like I'm, of course, willing to acknowledge that the very, 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 very small percentage of Muslims are terrorists. Very, 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 very small.
Right, like about 75%.
Yeah. It's so small, it's insane how small it is. I'm going to tell you who the real terrorists are right after this. Because you know this is my favorite ad to do on this show, because I use it, I love it, and I want everyone to have those RHBs, those rock hard boners, and the only way to do it is Blue Chew.
What do I say to you constantly, cuz? I say to you, do not send me another dick pic unless you're blue chewed up.
Yeah.
I don't like soft dick pics from Chrissy.
It's what it is, cuz I love them. I love just walking around with a pretty much rock hard cock at all times, and that's because of Blue Chew. I mean, it's like my dick got an energy drink.
Yes, you know what Blue Chew does, because it's made in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get a nice red, white, and blue cock. Guys, this isn't just about performance. This is about legacy or third legacy.
Yeah, we even gave it to Nick because Nick texted us in the group chat and said that he was very concerned, and he asked us if we could help him because he said he was watching Royal Rumble and he wasn't hard.
Yeah, that's
and I
concern.
said, and he said, so what's going on? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm not rock hard watching Royal Rumble. And I said, try Blue Chew.
Yeah.
And then he told me he went into a movie. He took a Blue Chew, went into the movie theater, and he started jerking off to Iron Claw.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Chew can definitely help wrestling fans get hard. That's for sure.
That's what it is. Yeah,
that's for sure. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, you get the first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code Hyenas at checkout and pay only $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the History Hyenas.
Because we need to get our roofs cleaned.
That has got to be part of your weekly maintenance.
And you and I, we both have to get our roofs cleaned, but I have to go for a little bit longer because I have a bigger head, so therefore I have a bigger roof.
That's a lot. That's why, you can't put solar on your head because it's too expensive.
Too expensive. So we both been getting our roofs cleaned at BetterHelp, which is great. What I love about BetterHelp is they match you up with a licensed therapist. You do this like little survey. They ask you these questions, and then you can pick everything: guy, girl, what they're like, what they're not like, and you can change at any time for free if you don't like the therapist. And it's all done from the comfort of your own home.
Now, I've used BetterHelp. I know a lot of people who have. It's just, look, if you're feeling blue, it's quick.
Right.
And it's very flexible, and you can change your therapist at any time.
Because there's a lot of impediments to having to go to a therapist's office, but BetterHelp takes that all out because it's done online.
Yes, and it's also very affordable. So they have over 30,000 therapists. It's one of the world's largest online therapy program. They've served over 5 million people globally, and it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews.
Right, and it's awesome. And this month, and we actually gave this promo code to Nick, and he loved it, and he said it's really been helping him. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend like we checked in on Nick or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/HH. When the Trump put a tariff on clay, how upset was Jesse?
Very upset.
And what did we say to Jesse? You need to talk to a professional at BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/HH.
The real terrorists are
our
the cops.
Our wives.
Our wives.
Our wives are always mad.
That's right. They're always big. I don't think a woman can go one full day without being angry.
Mad at something.
Yeah, not being angry at something.
So let's finish Venezuela because make no mistake, we're going to do this. I'm going to read the Patreon names, and then we're just going to Google Venezuelan babes and take a peek.
Yeah, so Nicolas Maduro comes to power, and and eventually inflation, eventually oil prices tank.
Because why? Because they weren't redistributing the wealth properly. And I think why did the oil prices tank though? What happened? They just weren't managing it correctly, I think.
Well,
they weren't drilling correctly.
The global oil supply always gets, it's like supply goes up, demand, it's all supply and demand. That's what OPEC is. What is OPEC? I think OPEC controls like 40% of global oil supply, and they just set the price. Right. And they were formed, advocates say, we're going to, just to make sure the oil market stays stable, right? We're like this body that makes sure it stays stable by these founding countries, right? Saudi Arabia is one of them. Venezuela was one of them. They're kicked out. Other people say, that's so they can fucking
manipulate the price,
make sure the prices,
just like the Fed,
just like the Jews who control the Diamond District. Let's be honest, it's worth fucking nothing, but they control the supply and they jack up the price.
That's why I got 2 words for you guys out there looking to marry your wives: lab grown.
Lab grown. That's something you don't want to know about. Women can't tell the difference, and it's very cheap. And I'll be honest, I think people who are mostly of Jewish descent have controlled that market.
Sure.
And the women loving shiny things has sustained that market.
It's what it is.
Because women are like moths.
Yeah.
You know how the moths fly into lamps?
Yeah.
You shimmer a diamond, and they go pay 10 grand for that fucking worthless thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can blame Jews. I think you can blame women.
That's what it is.
Because
Lot of
It's
14.
really just,
Wait, but
what the demand is.
let's go back to Venezuela for a second. How did you connect the families are always rising and falling in America to what's going on in Venezuela? Can you
Because
connect that?
what you said was what happened in Venezuela, right?
Right.
And is America like this big bad capitalist country?
Right.
And I think that what happened in Venezuela is one person gets control.
Okay.
So the people who vote for socialism always vote for socialism initially to get rid of some corruption. They got sick of corruption under Perez, I think his name was, and then Chávez comes in and then Maduro. But then what ends up happening is you just trade one corrupt person for another because it's all about power.
Right.
It's all about power. America is very dynamic. It's more dynamic than people give it credit for. That's why that quote is relevant, because it's never one group that has control.
Yeah.
Only conspiracy theorists really believe that.
Believe in the
We've witnessed
Rothschilds
people
or-
in our own business rise and fall.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Businesses rise and fall. Comedians rise and fall. It's how it is because...
But that's good, because if you do
Very
it the other
good.
way, then you have a monarchy.
Very
kind
good.
of.
We have
A
democracy.
dictator.
Every 4 years, we get a new person in. Senators have to be elected, whatever. Now, a lot of people say it's rigged. It's rigged. There should be more term limits. All that stuff is valid. I'm not saying. But when you compare it to what is out there in the world,
Right.
It's very dynamic.
And then here's the thing.
The power in Venezuela is static.
Static.
It's Maduro.
And because what Chávez did do, though, he did take an authoritarian turn, which is what Maduro is doing now. But Chávez, even though he was beloved in the beginning, he centralized power. He controlled the legal system, the media, and the electoral institutions. He changed the constitution to allow indefinite re-election, so dictator, and he suppressed dissent and nationalized private companies. His rule became increasingly personalist, centered on his image as El Comandante.
Which
so he got crazy.
Well, which one of the countries hasn't done that?
Right.
What
United States of America.
Yeah, Mao's China did that.
Yeah.
Which country hasn't done that? Stalin did that.
Yeah.
I mean, which country has not done that?
Only the boys have done that.
North
We have not done
Korea
that.
has done that.
The United States has not done that.
Yeah, the state takes, instead of the state withering away, which was what the initial idea behind communism was, the state always takes control, and instead of a bunch of billionaires, you get one trillionaire, and his name's Putin.
It's what it is.
And that's just how it always goes.
Yes, and Donald Trump is not going to do this. He's not going to centralize power. He's not going to change the Constitution for indefinite re-election. It's like when I hear people say that, I go, shut up. He's not going to do that.
But I think it's good that there's people always saying, pushing back on his rhetoric, because that's what makes America great.
You're a liberal.
No, you need that.
No, it's true. It is
You
true.
need
Yeah.
that. You do need that because, that's what's great about the multi-party system. That's what's great about rule of law and term limits is there's always there's always a dialogue going on and pushback. Keep this honest, because that's the only way we can get to the middle.
Yeah.
Is by pushback.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Because human beings are not evolved enough to
Nick likes that song.
govern themselves or govern others on principle.
No.
We always act in our own interest. All these people voting for Mandami or the people voting for Trump.
This is why socialism doesn't work.
Yeah,
because the top will always act in their own interest.
Always, people just are into their own interest.
You need a governing body. You need democracy. You need the wealth to be spread out among, because then even if the top wants to act in their own interest, there's only so far the president of the United States can go.
I mean,
in democracy.
The more you look into it, people railing against billionaires. Yeah, billionaires got a lot of money, but they also do create a lot of wealth for others.
Yeah.
They also do create a lot of innovation for others. I think there's a good chance that if I go to the Whole Foods, if I go to the Whole Foods in Yorktown Heights, wherever's close to the Yorktown Heights, or Astoria or wherever it is, I think there's a good chance I'll be in the organic produce section, and I'll look up from grabbing my organic pancake mix, and I think there's a good chance I will see AOC in the Whole Foods. I think there's a good chance if we looked at the digital record of AOC on Amazon,
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance she's got more than 14 orders
Yeah.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
I just think there's a good chance I'm not going to see her buying Wonder Bread at the bodega.
No.
I just don't think she's going to get eggs that expired 4 weeks ago.
No.
I just don't think there's a good chance she practices what she preaches.
No.
And that's always the problem with people at the top of the power
Yeah.
structure. They want the good cigars.
Yeah.
They want the organic produce.
I can tell you because AOC always talks about the white man and how bad it is. Your husband's white.
Yeah.
He's white. Yeah. He's a white man. Yes.
I don't know if she outwardly.
It's hard to resist two things, and that's white cock.
Ladder 14.
Even Nick can't resist it.
So at the end of the day, that's a fundamental problem of socialism is people just start to feel like things get a little stagnant. They don't get motivated because what motivates people to innovate is they want to fly on jets and be courtside for a Jake Paul fight.
That's what it is. And whether you get there or not, it's irrelevant. It's the motivation and it's the effort to do it.
Right.
You can't take away people's effort.
Yes, it's just that's what motivates you is people are just motivated by self-interest.
Right.
And when you work really hard, you want to get rewarded for it, and it's just human nature. Like, for example, let's say, and this is relevant. It is a relevant analogy. Let's just say we're all in a class together. Now, if we were all in a class together, it wouldn't be to learn how to code or anything scientific.
No.
But let's just all say we're in English as a second language because that's the only class we'd all be in together.
That or we'd be...
Because the IQ in here is probably about a 1.6.
Yeah, honestly, the only other way, if we're not doing a podcast, the only other way us four would be in here is if we're taking a stand-up comedy class.
That would be it.
And we're trying to learn the art of stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah.
Okay, because if the four of us were in a class together, it wouldn't be for advanced chemistry.
No, it would not be.
Yeah, so let's just say we're all in English as a second learning class.
Okay.
Second language. Okay, now let's say you get a 4.0.
Okay.
Now let's say I get a 2.7.
Right.
Okay, now we know Nick is probably going to get 2.1.
Right.
And
No, I think Nick's the smartest guy in here,
he
actually.
might be. Okay,
Yeah.
so he gets 3.8.
Yeah, I'm going to get the lowest grade because I'm just going to keep speaking to everyone in German.
So what you're saying is if it wasn't for Nick's Shakespearean actor dream, he actually could probably have a really good job.
No, I think he really would have a really good job.
He just had this dream where he wanted to be a theater actor.
Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah.
Now, Jesse...
To him, that dream is still alive.
It's still alive. And now, Jesse, I know for a long time, Jesse, in a lot of areas, is legally retarded. Okay?
Right.
Like, it's beyond dyslexic. It's like legal retardation.
Right. We can tell when he searches things on
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
when it comes to, like, writing and math, like the basics, no. Artistic genius.
Genius, actually, yes.
Genius, and also pretty smart guy as far as concept.
Very good, understands stocks and the market very well.
And he's good with money. But as far as, like, simple stuff, so let's say Jesse gets a 1.6. He also wouldn't attend because he got a GED.
Right.
So he would, he would see one group of kids outside the school acting unruly, and he'd say, I'm not going back to that school.
He's not going to do it.
Jesse likes the safety of his studio where he can sculpt fat people.
It's just what it is.
So he gets a 1.6 with a bad attendance record.
Yeah, I just know that any Christmas or birthday gift, I know what to get Jesse, and that's clay.
It's that's what he needs.
That's just I just buy him more and more clay.
Now, I get a 1.7 because I'm fucking stupid.
Right.
I'm actually going to give the highest grade to you because you're a go, and you do have that Germanic thing in you from Lynn where it's like, we're going to get to the top of the HR department.
Yeah, it's just what it is. Yeah, we're just going to get there.
You're just going to get there.
We are going to be at the top of the HR department at the Bank of Nova Scotia.
I'm going to get my Filipino doctor degree.
It's what it is.
It's just what you got.
You're the only one in physical therapy. A Filipino doctor's degree is a 10.
Yeah, you got
I have a Filipino doctorate degree.
You do. And you just got it. So you are the fucking most highly educated person.
And let's be honest, I would find a way, whether it's a guy or a girl, to be banging the teacher.
Yeah, you're a highly motivated guy who doesn't like to sit still. You're a motivated guy.
Motivated kid.
Yeah, you didn't get your success just by sitting around. You can't sit around.
No, my feet are always moving.
Yeah, you're moving. So you're going to get a 3.97.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if me, Nick, and Jesse said, this isn't fair, okay? These grades are not equal.
Right.
And we said, we want to take a couple of points of your degree and give it to us.
Right.
Would that be fair?
That would not be fair.
That would not be fair. Now, I think it's fair because I want a higher degree.
Right.
Right? But you don't think it's fair.
No.
But there's more of us.
Right.
So we intimidate you.
Right.
And say, I know there's one of you and your big kid, but the three of us could take you like fucking fire ants.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
But this goes back to what we were saying before, where this is why these people want socialism, and this is where, in fact, they subconsciously voted for Mamdani and love him because they want to even the playing field because they are not happy with their grade.
That's exactly.
They're not happy with their grade.
And ultimately, it's been proven time and time again, the only way you can subjugate the individual for the sake of the group is by force.
Right.
And so that becomes the role of the state. We don't let dissidents in. We don't let other opinions in. We control the media. We just control everything because it's the only way you can do it. Because guess what happens when you subjugate the will and the potential of the individual? Then individual rights inevitably become forsaken because it's all about the group.
Right.
So you become just a cog in a wheel.
Right.
That's very dispensable.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the group.
You're just a number, babe.
So that's what happens. People start getting thrown out of windows.
Yeah.
And nobody can say anything. But we're like, we're all for the group. We're all for society.
Right.
Society starts taking precedence over the individual, and the leap in logic is lost. And that logic is the society is just an aggregate of individuals.
Right.
So it becomes this amorphous concept. We're all for the society and the betterment of society. And what they forget is society is just fucking an aggregate sum of individuals.
That's what it
We're
is.
all pieces of the pie. Without the pieces, there is no fucking pie.
What do we say? We're all bees in the same hive, bubbas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us are in different hives.
It's what it is. Some of us just have HIV.
Some of us are in just different algorithms. Those
Yeah.
are the new hives. We're in
Yeah.
different algorithms.
Now,
Some of them are just going to be in Hassan Minaj's new podcast algorithm, and some of them are going to be in Theo Vaughn's.
it's what it is, but we're all in the same hive.
Yeah, one talks more education, but at least he doesn't lie about powder coming to his daughter.
What it is. So here we go.
I love how uncomfortable you get when I throw one of those out there.
Yeah, but it's okay.
It's okay because it happened.
It happened. So here we go.
Even Ronnie Chang made fun of him for it.
Ronnie
I
Chang.
forgive him for it.
I forget.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I like it. I just want to say now that Boko Haram has sent an envelope full of anthrax to my house.
It's what it is, and that's where we're going to bring up Baby Gorgeous, is because you want to know, we want to talk about what's happening in the news right now, and that Donald Trump is blowing up boats in Venezuela, and they're saying they're going to have a ground invasion potentially in Venezuela, and a lot of people think it's for a good reason, a lot of people think it's for a bad reason, and I think I'm on the fence right now. We're going to learn about it here together, but I do know that whatever Donald Trump does with Venezuela, I ask him to do it swiftly, and I ask him to do it with grace, because he needs to focus on the big prize, which is Boko Haram and the persecution and killing of Christians in Nigeria by Islamists. And that's what Trump needs to really be fighting against, is Boko Haram and the Islamists.
Now, here's the deal. So, Venezuela, we've opened a new front against Venezuela.
It's just what it is. We're opening up front.
We've opened up fronts. We're starting to murder people in the sea.
We're like Adolf. We got too many fronts going.
Ladder 14.
Could be possible.
Yeah.
But what's happening is we're not the only ones. I think Brazil, Argentina has also designated, what do they call it? The Cartel del Sol or something, which is just a made-up name for military generals who may be involved in
So you
drug
got
trafficking.
Brazil and Argentina fighting, that want to fight Venezuela.
Well,
that's going to be called the War of the Fake Butts.
Yeah. Well, what they have agreed with us on is designating the cartel as a terrorist group.
Yeah.
So that's what Trump has done. He said this is a terrorist group.
Not Venezuelans, just this specific group.
Right. And I think it's the Cartel del Sol. I think it's Cartel del Sol.
Cartel of the
And there is no real Cartel del Sol, like there is the other cartels, but it's a word that's been given to whoever's in Venezuela doing drug stuff.
That's just what it is.
So what we've done by doing that, by designating them a terrorist group, is by going, now it's okay for us legally to kill you.
Right. So that's what it is.
It's what it is. So obviously,
But they are probably most likely just killing innocent people.
I mean, look,
who knows?
There is drug trafficking going on in Venezuela. Now, we do got this guy. I think we caught him in Miami. He was a former general, and I think he's going to flip on Maduro.
Okay.
Because much like Noriega, we're trying to get him. There's a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head right now.
So somebody's going to turn him in.
Yeah, Pam Bondi put a $50 million on his head.
So unfortunately, Maduro's not doing his pod right now.
Maduro's doing his pod from a hideout.
So, yeah, that's just what it is.
And the opposition leader is Maria something. She's also in hiding. Everyone who's trying to be a leader in Venezuela.
Why is she in hiding? Wouldn't the United States want her?
No, well, because Maduro's people want to kill her, and the people want to kill Maduro. Venezuela's not a cute place to take a 3-day vacay right now.
No, it's not. I don't even think you could fly there.
Also,
do they have any infrastructure at all?
Nobody's going there. Of course they do. They built up in the 50s and 60s. It was a glory era. The oil money was flowing in.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are the kids going to school? Do they have like any type of economy working at all? Or is Venezuela truly off the rails right now?
Off the fucking rails.
They're off the beam.
It's 1 out of 10 Venezuelans has fled the country. I think it's something like 7.7 to 9 million Venezuelans have fled.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they have fled, and it's just pandemonium right now. And
but this started happening a few years ago. Venezuela started to collapse,
and
we're invading now. But didn't this happen in like 2019? Like, right? Has it been years?
And there's been for about a decade long. There's been accusations that Maduro is involved in the drug trafficking.
So Venezuela faces a severe humanitarian crisis with widespread poverty, food insecurity, and a crippled economy that is a fraction of its size compared in 2013. Okay, this was all Nicolas Maduro's authoritarian rule is the fault of this, this is what happens with communism and socialism.
And then in 2024, there was an election, and he came out on top. But the consensus, I think, internationally, is that it was a rigged election.
And they don't recognize, the rest of the world doesn't recognize this as the result.
Right.
So they recognize it as, all the other countries, like you've basically taken over a country that isn't yours and we're taking it back.
Right.
We've become the world's police again in a way.
We still are the world's police. This is just right now.
How do you see this playing out?
Maduro's toast.
Maduro's toast.
He's toast with Nutella on it.
He's not going to go do an interview with David Letterman like Zelensky.
He's not. He's toast. I mean, he's toast right now. The only thing that's keeping him afloat is China and Russia. So
China and Russia are backing them simply is the main reason because they buy their oil, but is the bigger reason because they want to fight with us, with the United States?
I think
is it another proxy war?
No, it's a little thing called we continue to give you loans and we continue to help you out and you give us nice, cheap oil.
Now, if the United States doesn't in fact invade Venezuela, will China and Russia back Venezuelans and send them troops? Because that's a little thing that gets a little bit closer to a little thing we like to call World War III.
Well, America is not going to invade Venezuela, but
didn't Donnie T say that they might?
Yeah, but he says stuff all the time because that's what he does. He's just
he better invade Boko Haram.
Yeah. Well, what is going to happen is I think he's given the green light to the good old 3 letters, and I don't mean HIV.
Okay,
the 3 letters, the good old American 3 letters. They're called the CIA to go have fun.
Got it.
They got the green light.
Yeah.
They got to go.
So maybe they'll do a little
regime. Steph Curry shooting green light.
So will they do a little regime toppling? Will they do a little inside info? Like
they're gonna do something dirty.
Will you start to see protests? Will they start to kind of just take over like a little psyop stuff? What are they gonna do?
They're gonna get them.
Are they gonna do a little Havana syndrome? Are they gonna do a little, what was the shit we talked about last week? Are they gonna do a little bit of the what did we talk about last week?
Well, what he did.
What is it called? The mind control.
Oh yeah.
Are they gonna do it?
I forgot what we talked about last week.
What was it? Isaac Bentekoff?
Oh,
Jewish
that type
kid,
of shit. Remote viewing?
Yeah, they're going to do that?
Well, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'll tell you what did happen. Trump went to the CIA and he said, I want you guys to have a canvas. He said, Venezuela is your canvas.
He's Bob Ross?
Yeah, he said, here's your canvas.
There's no mistakes, happy accidents.
Yeah, he said, here's your canvas. You want a canvas? Here's your canvas. Now paint.
Yeah.
Paint me like your French girls, Jack.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We're painting.
We're just painting.
We're painting the girl in the pearl necklace.
We're having fun.
And I think Maduro's going to fall into the sea.
Yeah. You think Maduro's going to have a little accident? He might get a little cancer too.
I think Maduro's going to be fried up and become a tostone.
Yeah.
I think he's going to become a plantain. He's going to be covered in fucking bullets of honey.
Yeah, so the U.S., here's the one thing.
We're still top of the food chain.
We're still top of the food chain because the one thing that I understand there's many things to dislike about him to certain people. I understand there's many things to like about him to certain people. This is not, advocating for or against Donald Trump. But the one thing you all do have to admit on both sides is the man does not fuck around. He does not fuck around.
Well,
when it comes to stuff like this, your boy does not fuck around. He does a little thing called fuck around and find out.
He does a little.
That's what he does.
He does a little thing called we're going to restart our nuclear program because we want to compete with China and Russia.
Make absolutely no mistake, the kid carries himself like a drug dealer from Baltimore, and when he does, inevitably, I'm gonna do it with a do-rag on.
we're
Ladder
still
14.
humans haven't evolved to the point where we're past geopolitical jostling. We do have, it's still all about power. Now on X, in the headlines, it's still all about, you hear morality, you hear this, you hear that, but the players are still playing the power game. And if we were to go all moral, there would be a vacuum. And that's why we're in Ukraine. That's why we're in Venezuela. That's why we want to go to Nigeria. That's why we're trying. That's why we're in Panama talking about the canal, and we're about to win that. Because if we don't take it, China will.
Right.
So that's just the consensus between parties. Right. That seems to be the reality. It's not a unipolar situation anymore. This isn't the fall of the Soviet Union. China has risen. China has risen.
They have risen, yeah.
And unlike Israel, that's just a regional power.
Yeah.
China is a global power.
Right.
And they want it all, baby.
Yeah, because Russia has kind of unveiled themselves as not being as strong as we thought, but China still could be real strong.
Yeah, and Russia's still up there.
They're still strong, but we're stronger.
We're stronger. China, they're coming up, baby.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to be Tanya Harding.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Sometimes you have to be Tanya Harding.
Yeah.
We know we can't win the race. We don't have the educated population to win the race.
No.
Okay? How did Malaysia and Singapore get so fucking good? Discipline.
Yeah.
Kids go to school for 14 hours.
Yeah.
They recycle water. They desalinate. They're doing all types of shit.
We don't do that.
We do TikTok.
Yeah.
We do TikTok and we hit you with the baton in the knee.
Yeah.
So
we do TikTok and we do ticks.
We do ticks and we do TikTok. So
yeah.
That's what we're good at.
Yeah.
Let us do what we do.
Yeah.
Because we still can squeeze out another 20 years of dominance.
Yeah, it's what it is. Just let us hit you with the hammer in the back. Let us call Jeff Gooley.
Yeah,
what's that guy's name?
Before we get fucking formally overtaken by the giant wok in the East, let us still do a little cooking. Let us cook in pots and pans for a couple years.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's rock and roll until it's walk and roll. So here we go.
Why is my nose itch?
Honey, we're at the Patreon, patreon.com/historyhyenas. Welcome to the matriarch, our newest members. We love to read the names at the end of the episode. Yannis' nose is running. He's doing coke in his basement.
I have diarrhea.
It's what it is, of the nose. So here it is, Nick McIntyre, Joshua Houtmer. Then we got, I heard some dings. Okay.
Put them on the list.
Oh, really?
Chicken finger on the list. Now, instead of I heard some things, I heard some dings.
I heard some dings, but that also could just because maybe it's your AC unit. I don't know what it is.
Could be, and if you don't know what dings are, dings could be anything.
Yeah.
Just, they're technically something that hurts your quality of life.
It's what it is. And don't forget, at patreon.com/historyhyenas, I'm telling a ghost story to the room.
Yeah.
So it's going to be cute. Showneck, Augustin Lara. Then we got Blurry Peace from the Far East. Call me John Cena. John Cena, John Chenna.
Good try.
Okay. Brandon Norton. Rosa Parks' husband had a car. That's just a fact, I guess.
We're putting them on the list.
Is that a confirmed fact?
I don't know, but
that's
it's
hilarious.
Funny. It's funny, yeah.
Then we got Puerto Rican Pussy Rattler and Toot sharing an account like a chew. Okay. Puerto Rican Pussy Rattler might have made the
chicken
list.
Finger.
Yeah.
What's a definition of a chicken finger?
Cutter Lee, John Vernon. Then we got Patriotic Penis Pump filled with red, white, and glue.
Great one, chicken finger.
Hunter Eaton, Scrabina Hyena, Michael Gianantrelli, Alp Karagoga, Buzz and Neil's Zero G Moon Glue, established in 1969. James Rivers, Slavmeister UA, Go-Go Gadget, Greg, Hope is my hedge, facts are my proof, I'm already coming.
Drexler.
We haven't said that in a while.
Yes,
We have so many things that we just do for 2 weeks and then they're done.
Hard to remember.
Hope is my hedge, facts are my proof. I have to remember that.
It really is. But
get that
ham candle is sticking.
Ham candle has stuck, so shout out to you. Dax, Logan Bennett, Brandon Milsk, Lips of a Leroy, PP of Chinggis Khan. It's funny.
Nice combo.
Ethan Holmes, Teal Allen, Will Clark, Jesus Guevara, Leroy Peace with a Jesus Piece, Yamin, Oscar, Steven, Two Bears, One Grave, because that podcast is dead. It's what it is.
Funny.
Yeah.
We're going to give that a Drexler.
Ima Torta Pounder, call me an ice pick. Oh, I'm a torta pounder, call me an ice pick. ICE.
That is really good.
Torta pounder is,
He's a torta pounder, and so he's a pick for ice.
Yeah.
Contender.
There we go. Yes.
Contender. That's a catapult.
Yeah.
Put it out.
That's a good one.
Catapult him right onto the list.
Calling a Latina woman's vagina a torta is funny.
And saying that the torta pounder could be a new one for Mexican.
Yeah, it's just
now they're adding to our lexicon.
Yeah, it's what it is. And Nick giggled and put his head down, so you know it's good.
That's a good one.
Jared, Justin Gilbert, Scott E., John Rubio, Simon Sundstrom, Crispy Frisbee. Then we got
Crispy Frisbee is one that got by you.
Okay.
That's a really bad one. That means it's a cooked Jew.
Yeah, all right. Sorry about that. That's not good. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Then we got my monkey.
It's Crispy Frisbee. Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah, Jesse hit the way shot she had, even though I blew past it.
How do you want your Frisbee?
Yeah.
Crispy.
My monkey was moved. This time okay, hold on. My monkey was moved. This time the fumes, don't know who did it, was okay. I can't read this one. This time there were fumes, don't know who did it. It was probably the Jews. Okay, I don't know.
Okay, it's probably walked in.
Okay. Weekend at Bernie's, Burnies. Preston.
Wait,
Burnies, weekend at Bernie's. I don't know what they mean.
Maybe they're
spelling it differently.
Bernie or something.
Okay. Preston Newhouse, Jake Cams, Nagasaki, it to me, little boy.
Nagasaki to me, little boy. All right.
Nagasaki. Okay. Yeah. B. Marshall 24, Kyle, Jared Reinstartler, Ryan Brennan, Theodore, Top Squeak, Commander in Chief. The name is Leto Sage. Josh Stewart, Ben Dayahu, MS-13 Tramp Stamp.
Put him on the list.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Evan Lee.
He got his MS-13 tattoo on his lower back.
It's what it is.
Or a girl. Very funny.
Evan Lee, Sean Murray, Corey, Jen, Jacob Smith, Chrissy P with a leaky V for conspiracy teas, Creatine Chrissy, Alan Tudyek Cumming, had pineapple juice, my cum tastes the same to me.
Drexler, good one.
It's a good one.
Good one. Any other day.
Don't worry, Chrissy. Tony Hinchcliffe at MSG on 8/15/25 was empty.
Okay. It's good to know.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Are down.
But that was, he had 2 shows.
Yeah.
Oliver Fortier. Is that lint in your belly button, or are you just happy to see me? Matza Mutt. Mike.
Matza Mutt's very fun.
Yes.
Chicken finger.
Mike Durst, Jake Jones. Why do I also have to watch for ice in Mexico? I don't know what that means.
Just a question.
Just a question, yeah. Samantha Materia. Irritated by gays, call me LGTBBQ.
So good. It just needed a punch up. LGTBQ is very
like
funny.
barbecuing.
And irrigated by gays means he's been
irritated.
That's almost.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a Drexler because the LGTBQ is very funny.
Tin.
Would have just left that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tin Meyer. Who do I have to fuck to get a goddamn chicken finger? Kylie Potts.
Give him a chicken finger.
There it is. You got one. Austin Ramusin. Chrissy sucks peen when he's off the beam. True.
Probably true.
Zelmir. Had a joke about September and planes, but forgot it. Okay. Sydney Sweeney's tits could be that big under communism. It's what it is. No, sorry. Sydney Sweeney's tits could never be that big under communism. It's what it is. I mean, she has cans.
She's got cans. And what I love about her is like she's leaning into it.
Well, my father said this is like Marilyn Monroe. This is the same exact thing as Marilyn Monroe. She was like this iconic sex symbol that people couldn't take when she was, younger. Broadway makes you gay. Just look at Hugh Jackman. Amen. Hyena with a stinky mangina. Manhina?
Hyena with a sticky mangina?
Mangina? I don't know what that means.
It's a mangina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donnie T squatting over the cup at Fumar-a-Lago.
Drexler.
D-Man. Al-Walid. David Schleismaner. No, David Sheckmelizer. Fumare Shafumes. Mike Oxlong. P. Dunk 1776. Muzzy Women calls me Moses because the way I spread them cheeks open.
Very good.
Yeah, okay. Good for you, sir.
Yeah, I didn't Drexler that. That's a good one.
Cashews and Bacon LLC. Alton.
Oh, my God, he got you. He got you good. I love how they're slipping them by him.
LLC.
Yeah. I'm the only one who caught that.
Yeah.
They're
Because he wrote cashews.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
Jeez.
I mean, look, it's bad.
Yeah.
But the creativity is astounding.
Yeah.
When people want to do racist things, they really, put a lot of effort into it.
That's really what drives human ingenuity.
Creative.
Yeah. Alton. Then we got Sugar Ray Leroy, Southwest Airline champ. Jeffrey's Permits for Pizza LLC.
Screwed in.
Yeah. My uncle said it's not gay if I identify as trans. Cole Pugliano, you get the Sauce Monkey Award.
Mm-hmm.
The Eternal Frisbee, I think we've had that one.
Mm-hmm.
Rob C, Girth Brooks, we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm out of cum, I start code switching. Chris, the vitamin water tastes a little tangy.
From when you're
shitting
shitting
a thing.
Yeah.
Bardayasan, moving more than Chrissy's closing dates. Master Kilbasi, Denny darts his glue gun through that fume hun. Squeak Mill, like Meek Mill, Squeak Mill, funny. Blue Chew Benny. Sir, a second Theo Vaughn hit the beacon.
What?
Sir, a second Theo Vaughn hit the beacon. Meaning like, I guess because Theo had those 2 bad shows. Or I don't know what. I don't
Very
get.
inside, very inside.
He's be looking thick as hell underneath those ghost sheets.
That's a walked in one.
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ. Let's say the full word.
Yeah,
They're called Sandra D's.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
bad.
Christ.
Chris Yest Pido Yanni Yest Muzin asked Dr. Lukash. Okay. Chrissy carried Khashoggi's briefcase full of money. Yes, that is true.
It's true.
Suck a fart out of the straw. Okay,
can't
disparage the family. Can't say that. Can't do that one.
No Fumari treats.
Can't do that.
On bicycle seats.
Yep. Post Optimus Prime, the real Transformer.
Yeah.
Chips and Salsa Monkey. Interesting.
We've had that.
Joey Karate with the D's piece for an Eastern Hemi.
For an Eastern Hemi, congrats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mommy Issues and a Choking Fetish, a.k.a. George Freud.
Ladder 14.
That's a good one, dude.
Yeah, but I don't know.
The creativity. Can you say it again?
Mommy Issues and a Choking Fetish, a.k.a. George Freud.
Oh, God, it's so good. It's bad.
Nick's not laughing.
I know, but can we just take a moment? George Freud, mommy issues.
Choking issues.
I mean, what do you want to do?
It's a walked-in one. We need to do on Patreon. Look, we need to do it.
Okay.
I don't know which one of us is going to compile the list because we'd have to look back. Maybe if
Sabrina the Hyena maybe can do it because she's so good at it. Yeah.
We're going to do on Patreon a walked-in one award. You deserve your due, but it has to be behind a paywall.
Yeah, it's what it is. George.
They're all bad. We don't agree with them.
Yeah.
Just creatively.
Sicilian Papa Peace with greased up knees sliding into Chrissy's bussy with laser eyes like Yanni P. Way Sean King. Thomas. Rights left, votes right.
Chicken finger.
Then we just have a period. Tits out for Tuddy. Oh, that's Are You Garbage? Welcome. Evan. Muhammad, my foreskin didn't stand a chance. Rashad.
Good point.
Kid got clipped. Nick Vegas. Dirty Lufa, Matthew Medina, Michael Richards' new role as Willy Wonka in Leroy and it got cut off. Leroy and the something.
Welcome.
Cuz, hand me a spearmint, I have taco breath. Tyler Nickham, Drew Dems, Lauren Bobert, pissing on her hands. Wolf in Chic's clothing. Brandon, Katie Rose, Brad Coaster. Fumare Jory Taylor Green. Fumar Jory Taylor Green.
Okay. We went for that.
All right.
Give him credit for trying to work Fumari into another name.
Yeah.
Besides Mari Stoudemire.
Enrique the Freake.
Nice. Welcome.
Joshy, make no mistake, Yanni can poke my boy Panani with his salami tameta. Chris Etheridge. Brucey, the pseudo-penis power washer Martin. Elios Schickgruber. Cute Leroy Peace. Poughkeepsie one-way car service. And then we got the last but not least, general manager of Mamdani's harem.
Okay, what we got here is we got a couple of good lottery picks, but I mean, it was a pretty uneventful draft.
Yeah, we don't
after the first lottery,
and that happens though.
It happens. They all got their own personalities.
So just to have here are the names: MS-13 tramp stamp.
Love that.
I heard some dings.
Love that.
Rosa Parks' husband had a car.
Yeah, love that.
Or I'm a torta pounder. Call me an ice pick.
I think we know what's going to go on. Let's go one at a time.
MS-13 tramp stamp.
We're going to chicken finger that.
Okay.
Any other day, if it wasn't for the Torta Pounder, which I think is going to win.
Yeah, because Torta Pounder also sounds like Quarta Pounder, and I just like it.
Yeah.
I heard some dings.
Heard some things. We're going to chicken finger that. These are chicken fingers.
Rosa Parks' husband had a car, which is, if that's a fact, that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. We're going to Drexler that one.
Okay, so you got the closest, but the winner clearly is I'm a Torta Pounder, call me an ice pick.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You are the winner. See
Yeah.
your name up in lights. HistoryHyenas.com or HistoryHyenaspod.com. Tell your friends. We have a lot of fun every single Thursday at youtube.com/HistoryHyenas. We love doing our episodes. We thank all the fans for sticking around. And then we have even more fun, and we start telling ghost stories at patreon.com/HistoryHyenas. So go over there right now and just continue to listen to us.